MC about me. I'll be alone, dancing, you know it, baby. Tell me your troubles and doubts.
Hello, friends. This is Daniel. I wanted to quickly let you know I'm sorry that I haven't gotten this video out for a while, but a lot of things happened. My mom got really sick really quick with a bowel obstruction, and she was vomiting waste basically, and it just turned into a whole thing. I didn't want to talk about it until I knew if everything was okay. She's done an emergency surgery. Everything is okay. She's doing great now. She's been gone for about a week, but she's coming home today. And I'm super excited about that because I am a huge mama's boy. I love my mom. Anyhow, so just to let you know, I'm sorry it's been so long, but a lot of things came up. But also, besides my mother being in the hospital, and it turned out she had to go back to the hospital for a second emergency surgery, I also had 2 forced committals. So a lot happened that pushed back being able to make this video, but we're here now, and we're going to talk about a few things, mainly the 2 stays, how they were different, and also what I mentioned being passionate about is how patients are treated in terms of urgency based on outward appearance and behavior over what actually might be wrong. So hold on to your seats. This will be a longer video, but I'm so thankful that you guys are here to listen to what I have to say. It means the world to me. Thank you. I've been forcefully committed twice. I have started having seizures and losing more teeth. And so my first hospital stay was brought about by there was an extended period of intense insomnia, and also I had gone quite a while without my medications due to a voucher mix-up between the pharmacy and the local organization that helps me with medications and a tiny bit of counseling, and I was definitely spiraling quite quickly out of control. And one of my regular hallucinations is a demonic figure that appears to have continuously melting skin and sawed off horns, and he convinces me that he is part of me and is poisoning my blood, and the only way to rid myself of him is to cut him out. And that's what I did, and it was pretty horrible and intense. And a friend of mine thankfully knew what was going on and called for help, and I was picked up by an ambulance and taken to the emergency room, where I had also done other damage to my body, trying to silence the voices and his presence within me. It's awful. Like, it's logic doesn't matter at that point. Like, I can try and tell myself this is not real, this is not real, this is not real, but to me it's real. Every time I could smell the brimstone or feel him crawling inside of me, I had to get him out. And I know it doesn't make sense in the light of day and rationality and sanity, but during the long night, I have very little hope to defeat those thoughts on my own. And I had a major setback. Did some real damage to myself, but I was force committed. It was a brand new facility, and I've read the doctor's notes since. I guess I was a little sassy my first day there because the doctors first spoke to me directly after the first breakfast of the first day, and apparently in the notes they had only served a boiled egg and a bagel. So in my first interaction with the doctor, he quoted me as saying, "This place costs thousands of dollars to make. You guys are brand new, and you serve a boiled egg and a bagel. Come on, man." So I don't know why I'm so proud of that stupid comment, but I am proud. I am proud. Super proud. It wasn't that bad of a place, except I had another bad interaction with a patient. I like to ask for a journal, and while I'm there I keep a journal and I write really like personal poems and about my experience there. And I came back and I couldn't find my notebook, but there was this female patient who was a bit bigger than me, and I just had an intuition, and I asked her, "Have you seen my notebook?" And she said yes. And I just shook my head. I said, "Are you sitting on it?" And she said yes. And this is where it gets really tricky, because I couldn't get angry at her, really, because I know it's not her fault, but she was convinced that I was controlling her thoughts, and she had read through my poems and thought I was writing about her, and she refused to get up and give me my notebook. And I told her, "Well, if I was controlling your thoughts, don't you think I'd be able to get you off of my book?" And boy, she shot that down real quick by telling me that she had been practicing and I didn't have as much control. So I had to ask for help, and it turned into much bigger of a thing than it should have, with huge guys showing up to physically restrain her if she didn't move to a different floor, because she couldn't stay on that floor anymore after everything that was going on. And it did get resolved peacefully, but it really it keeps making me nervous more and more. And unfortunately, my nervousness about going to another place for help turned out to be well-founded with...
Hello, little buddy. Hello, buddy. Are you a...
But it really it keeps making me nervous more and more. And unfortunately, my nervousness about going to another place for help turned out to be well-founded with the second hospital I was committed to. Probably the worst place I've ever been, except for a VA location. This place was a special kind of hell. I'd only been out from the first hospital for like a month and a half, and I still wasn't getting better. And It was, at least this time I got myself to the hospital. At least this time I got myself to the hospital. But, I had done some real damage to myself and had to be intubated, but they forgot to stick a catheter in, so when I did wake up, I woke up covered in my own urine, and I guess they didn't see because of the blanket. So trying to tell the nurse as a grown man that you have wet yourself and it's all over the bed is one of the more embarrassing moments of my life. And I still had to go potty, so I asked to utilize the latrine, and they said they had to come in with me, and all they had was female nurses. So to add on to the extreme embarrassment of wetting the bed because they didn't do a catheter, I had to utilize a latrine with a female standing right there beside me. I didn't know I could refuse and demand a male nurse. These are rights that we should know about and that we should be granted and told about when we make very clear how uncomfortable we are in that situation. We are not children. We're still adults. Yeah, says the man with the snake and an otter, but you know what, whatever. I'm an adult who feels comforted by stuffed animals, and I'm not ashamed of that. I'm not ashamed of that, and I shouldn't have to be. But it was just really, 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 really embarrassing, really bad. It was a bad 3 days that I waited in that emergency room. Bad 3 days that I waited in that emergency room because it took forever to find a hospital to send me to. And I even made a dummy and out of like clothes in my backpack and Shorty, my favorite stuffy head. I made a dummy. Even they had a 24-hour watch on me, but I used my backpack to kind of hide what I was doing, and I I made a dummy like I was sleeping under the bed, and then I used Shorty's head as like my hair, and just it looked pretty damn good, and I kind of laid on it so they couldn't see it. And then there was some type of commotion, and I was just opportunistic. She looked away, and I slipped away, and it worked. I got out. So that was like, I think that's my third successful attempt of escaping the hospital. And I made it almost outside before a different on-duty nurse saw me because I was still in the suicide garb, and they returned me to my cell. And so yeah, waited, and eventually I was taken to a whole nother place, brand new place I'd never been to before. And the best way to describe this place is, you've seen like the House episodes where he was in a mental health facility or other TV shows or movies, and they always show people screaming or getting tackled and fighting, and it's just insanity. I can tell you from my experience that is not what goes on in these places. The better run places don't have that issue. They separate more acute patients from patients who are more stable, so you don't have to have those interactions. But this place did not. They threw us all together, and this place was exactly how the movies show it. It was exactly as bad and terrible as the TVs show it. I saw women, men being tackled by 5, 6, 7 orderlies, being given 4 shots. Some dude picked up the entire water cooler and threw it at a patient who just happened to be standing there. And it was violent. It was scary. It triggered me so many times. I was like rocking in the corner, just trying to get control over my mind. And I think they saw us coming in.
So what?
I thought I saw a man who looked like he saw, and they weren't. Even after the staff learned of a forced, unwanted sexual encounter against a female patient, they still did not remove the male patient. And he admitted to it. Like, we're all sitting on the bench, and we thought we had seen him kiss her, and this young lady had come in, like, not in the headspace to be able to make decisions for herself. She couldn't even walk. She was in a wheelchair from all the drugs she was on. And we thought we witnessed him kissing her, but we were like, no way. And the next day she was talking, and we kind of pieced together that might actually have happened. And he just came over, and one of our other patients who I befriended just flat out asked him, did you kiss her the other night? He's just like, yeah, but he kind of read the room and noticed that this was very bad that he was admitting to. And he started to say, well, I mean, yeah, we kissed. You said I was a great kisser. And at this point, she's crying, shaking her head, saying, no, I don't even remember this. I wasn't even there. How could you do this? And he stood up and tried to move closer to her to be like, no, you wanted me to kiss you. And I just broke. Like, I couldn't take that crap anymore from someone. I couldn't. So I stood up and just grabbed his shoulders and started pushing him back away from her. We were in the courtyard. And he starts screaming for help. They're like, he's hurting me. And I'm like, dude, I'm just grabbing your shoulders. You're fucking hurting her. Get the fuck away from her. She doesn't want to hear from you. She doesn't want to look at you. She doesn't want to talk to you. Quit forcing yourself on her. And the staff intervened because I never raise my voice. In fact, that's one of my chief complaints about these kinds of places, is that unless you are outwardly having like real drama troubles, they don't treat you with the same intensity and care. Like, just because I'm not screaming and causing trouble doesn't mean I'm not having a severe panic attack that I need help with. Right? So when they saw me physically pushing another patient, they jumped up immediately because they know I don't do that. And they asked what the problem was. I explained it, and all they did was send him inside. They never removed him from the floor. They never took her to the female-only side of the ward where she could have been safe from that. It blows my mind. It blows my mind how unprofessional, bad these places can be when it comes to protection, sanity, and safety of their patients. I'm still in contact with her. She's a wonderful young lady. She's doing much better now. But this place was hell. I mean, people being slammed against the walls, cracked a window at one point.
Hello. Hey, buddy. Hey, Mr. Armadillo.
And I'm sorry, I keep covering my mouth. I have like no teeth left. I have an enamel deficiency, and I also, in my nightmares and terrors, I snap my teeth like a turtle, not just grind them, and I shatter them in my mouth. Have you ever had that dream where your teeth like fall apart in your mouth? I've had that dream and woken up to my teeth actually falling apart in my mouth. So I'm trying not to show just how bad it is, because it is incredibly embarrassing. And
How's Weirdo doing? Hey, Weirdo. No, you're climbing up. You're literally trying to climb up my leg.
we go there for help, and it's not a good thing when we leave these places feeling worse than when we showed up, feeling less safe than when we were officially admitted. It's not a good thing at all. And I will still advocate that everyone, when they need that help, they should get the help. Just do your best to try and research places that have better reviews, and they can help you for those 7 to 10 to 13 days that you're there. You want a place that is built more on stabilization and treatment rather than just holding you for 7 to 10 days and releasing you out into the wild. That's not as helpful. So many of us want help, and people will say, you don't want to get better, Daniel, or maybe it's safer if you don't have independence, Daniel, or you shouldn't drive, Daniel, or basically you shouldn't participate in society, Daniel. I hate that. And I'm letting you know, to those that say that, it hurts. And it really makes it difficult for me to open up about what's really happening to me, because if you're saying those things based on what I consider me being under control, how am I supposed to be willing to tell you the horrors that are happening when I expect that I'll lose all independence? Two things are so important to me, and that is personal freedom and privacy. We have the right to share when we want to share, and we shouldn't be punished for sharing. And I'm sorry, I know this video is just all over the place, probably makes zero sense. I'm sure it's boring as shit. That's because I'm all over the place and I'm not doing well. And, well, shit, I am going to end this video on a positive note. But I think I already talked about it in another clip on this same video, so I'll keep it short. I went to Austin with the Students with Psychosis run by Cecilia to do a conference and a panel for questions and answering, and it was the most wonderful experience to meet all these advocates and leaders from Students with Psychosis, to meet Cecilia in person. I'll include some photos in this video. Guys, if you haven't heard of them, look them up. Students with Psychosis. Cecilia also did an interview with Special Books by Special Kids with Mr. Chris, the same gentleman that I had the honor and privilege of speaking to, and you guys should look them up. They have a wonderful program that's there to help people navigate mental illness through education or advocacy, and I am so thankful I got to meet and make new friends in real life. It was awesome. So, in closing, life sucks, but I'm not done with it. And I know for a lot of you, life sucks too. And we see, hear, and experience pretty terrible things at times, but hold on, please. That's what I'm doing. I'm holding on. I'm holding on with no teeth, with no dreams of a future, but I want to be damn determined to make it through this, because I know there's got to be something better on the other side eventually. So I will keep trying, and I hope you will too. You guys are fucking amazing, and I love y'all, and thank you so much for being my friends. And until next time, I bid you farewell. I want to understand the warped void inside, the spinning, sickening despair I can no longer try and hide. The nightmares are daily haunts that whisper violent pictures, drawing strings on violins hanging from human fixtures. Lovely laughing leopards hold nightly fire dances, naked in the moonless sky, a universe with infinite chances. These painted, perplexing, perfect words that brush my cheeks with malice. Wicked, ugly, cursed crosses smile wild and callous.